Yo, alright, it's Monday, it's a new week. I look like a fucking, I don't even know, that one character in all the snowboarding games, the one black character. If they had a black girl character in like the old school snowboarding games, that'd be crazy. Come on now. Come on now. That's wild. They didn't have no black girls in the old skateboarding games, snowboarding games, nothing. But anyway, I will say, okay, so this week we're talking about community. And I didn't want to say I think a lot of people, I think community is a buzzword. I think it's gonna become a buzzword in like music. It's already becoming a thing in like the music industry, this and that. Record labels, their artists are now, they have discords, and they have people that run the discords, and this and that, which is new. Like, artists having discords is not like isn't hasn't been a thing for like the past 5 years, 10 years. Definitely not 10 years, but it hasn't really been a huge thing. Now it's becoming more and more of a thing where artists are starting communities, and yeah, I think it's just gonna be more and more of a buzzword over time. And I didn't want to come on here and like just jump straight into like how I built community, how I built a community, multiple communities, how to do it, this is not strategies, because I think a lot of people, or I think a record label wouldn't start a community unless it was like it made sense to their bottom line. So I think like community can be really, really like building an audience, building a community can be lucrative. Like, you can make money from it through different ways. Not even if you want to directly monetize, that's a thing. If you want to indirectly monetize, that's a thing. I won't get into all that today. I don't think that is even very. I don't think it's super important unless you're trying to figure out how to make something you're already doing sustainable. I don't think you should even be thinking about money straight away. I think it's just much better to start something organically and actually from a good place. But anyway, I digress. That is not why I'm even here today. I want to talk about why anyone would ever even build a community. Why a community is even important. Why build a community? We can get to how, we can get to the strategies, we can get to the monetization, we can get to this and that. But like, why? Like, genuinely, why? Because it's a lot of work. It takes time. And that means that it takes time and energy away from whatever else you're doing, right? So it's going to, like, whatever you're doing now, like, you're going to have to make some type of sacrifice to put energy and attention and time towards building that community. So you got to have a reason. And like, why build a community? I think like it comes down to like a community, like having a community. Like, that's one of our basic human needs. Like, no matter what we do, no matter how we act, no matter what we say, we cannot get around the fact that we are social creatures. Like, if you want to know more about yourself, if you want to know more about the world around you, look into biology. Like, genuinely look into like biology. Look into this natural world that you're completely bound to and intertwined with as a human being living on Earth. Like, we are exactly the same as everything else that's out here. As all the animals, I mean, not exactly the same. We obviously have like special things, but a lot of things are the same. We are social creatures, just like a fucking pack of dogs, just like a pack of geese. Like, we are social creatures. We it's a survival instinct to want to be around other people, because if you're going to go back to the cave days, if you're in a cave and there's like some dangerous, let's say there's a wolf, and let's say you're alone, what are your chances of survival versus if you're with a group of 5 other people? Like, it's just better for survival. What if you're alone and then there's a group of people? Now you're completely vulnerable. They could just attack you, steal your shit, kill you. Like, you have no protection. So that's why we're so fucking programmed to want to be around other people, to want to be a part of a community of people, and like to not be alone. We're literally programmed to like form in groups. You know what I'm saying? So community is a part of our basic, fundamental human needs. If you go outside and you have no semblance of being a part of something, you're going to feel really lonely, and it's going to feel really bad because it goes against what your brain really wants and what the instincts that are in your DNA actually want. Like, it's not good for survival, so you're not going to feel good. Whatever is not good for survival, it's not going to feel good most of the time. Because that's just how the fuck we're programmed. We're literally, like, biological machines. So, if you, like, you know, realize, like, it's very, very important. Like, community is really, really important. I think the internet, the internet is an interesting place because it is a place. Like, it is a place. It's like its own place. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I spent a lot of time. I'm in Ohio. I spent a lot of time building. I guess I would say building community in real life, meeting people, going out, talking to people, making friends, connecting. I spent a lot of time doing that in real life. And then as I transitioned, or I won't even say transition, but as I started to delve more into the internet and as a place and explore it more and I discovered internet communities. So the same exact way that there's communities in Cincinnati where I live around music, around art, around this, and that I connected with, it is exactly the same as if the internet was a physical place. There's communities on the internet. Just like people need community in real life, people also need communities on the internet because it's this huge, massive place. If you don't have a home, you're probably just going to feel like you're like floating around. You know what I'm saying? You're not a part of anything. So that's when online communities kind of come into play, exactly the same as how they come into play in real life. And so people need that. Like, having a sense of a home base on the internet or having a sense of belonging on the internet can just feel so much better, and it can also it just feels better. Like, again, like, you're satisfying your basic human need of being social and being a part of a group, being a part, you know what I'm saying? You can do that online, and I think, like, a lot of people are trying to start online communities, and I think just, like, understanding why, I think, is, like, just a big, it's just, you have to understand why. Like, how are you going to make something and not understand why you're making it or why it's important? And it is very important, and it gets really intense. Like, just because a community is on the internet doesn't mean that it's not real. Like, the thing that I realized, which is so freaking crazy, is, like, I spent time cultivating a community on the internet this past, like, 2 years, and I got to actually, like, after some months, I actually got to meet the people that I was talking to. And not until I actually met the people in real life that I was talking to over the internet over months or years or even weeks or whatever, I didn't realize that, like, it was real. Like, exactly as real as the people that are outside are, the people on the internet are just as real. Like, even though I'm a profile on Twitter or on Instagram, like, I'm a person, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it wasn't until I met those internet friends that I realized, like, oh, fuck, these are real fucking people that I'm talking to and, like, impacting and influencing. And, like, it wasn't until I met people and they cried because of how much it meant to them, how much the community meant to them, how much the conversations meant to them, how much just, like, having something to be a part of meant to them. When nothing, because, you know, it's hard sometimes to find people that are interested in the same things that you are, especially if you're limited by just your location. And I think that that's a really big challenge, and I think that people starting communities on the internet is people trying to solve that problem of, like, okay, I live in fucking Nebraska. I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody here that has any fucking idea about rap or about fucking music NFTs or about the blockchain. Like, there's nobody to talk to about what I'm interested in. So I'm going to go on the internet and I'm going to find a place where there's other people that have the same interests that I can actually talk to. Because otherwise, again, like, my most fundamental human need is not going to be met. I'm going to feel very alone. I'm going to feel fucked up. Like, that's just the gist of it. If you don't have a community that you're a part of, even if it's small, even if it's tiny, even if it's only 2 people, like, you're going to feel alone, you're going to feel fucked up, and there's something that's going to be off because there's a need that's not being met. So, like, before you even start these communities, whether it's in real life, whether it's on the internet, like, understand that this is you're doing something very important, and you're going to impact people's lives. Like, if you do it well, you will absolutely impact people's lives. And it comes with a lot of responsibility. It also comes with a lot of, like, awareness of, like, people. Like, you really, And this is why I love biology. Like, it'll really, I think it helped me understand people more. Um, I mean, and then psychology really, really helped me understand people more. I feel like biology will help you understand why people do what they do. Psychology might help you understand, like, why people think how they think. You know what I'm saying? And what is actually, like, what's actually going on in our brains. Because our brains are really weird and complex. Like, but anyway, I think that starting a community is a very big deal. It is meeting a fundamental human need. It's a big responsibility. Don't take it lightly, but also, like, have fun, obviously. And it's also like it's a people exercise. Like, it's an exercise in people. It's an exercise in learning people, like learning how to meet people's needs, learning how to excite people, learning how to give people value, learning how to engage people, learning how to create an open space so where people feel like they can actually express themselves and actually connect and talk to the other people in there. You know what I'm saying? Because a community is interesting because it's not the same thing as an audience. It's not just you talking to people. It's not like this video. It's more like a conversation. It's more like a room. It's literally like an open room, and there's people in there, and they're all talking to each other. Like, maybe you're the one that's like, hey, guy, and you do the intro and you break the ice. But then after that, it's not you anymore. Like, the community isn't even yours anymore. It's theirs. It's everybody's. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, that's what I wanted to say today, because the rest of the videos of the week are going to be about actually how to build a community. But I wanted to actually talk about why, and, like, why it's important and how important it is. Because I think that, like, I really think we just need more fundamentals. We need more pure intentions. We need more awareness. We need more intentionality. Like, we don't need more people just starting communities to make money. We don't need more people doing anything just to make money. We need people doing things out of a real intention. So this is this is what I wish somebody would have told me. I didn't have any awareness of any of this, really, when I did when I started my first community or whatever, right? Like, I didn't have any awareness of any of this. So whoever's watching this video, if you are wanting to start a community, if you're planning on it, like, you're already 10 steps ahead of me when I was starting out. So I think I hope this is helpful. I hope this, like, puts things into perspective. And yeah, the rest of the week will just be more like kind of like practical strategies, monetization, this is not around building a community, how to actually do it. I've done it a couple times, luckily. So I can speak on what I've done and what's worked for me, but I think this was a very important video to have out first. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Same time, same place. You know where to find me.